Welcome back, guys. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. We are back again with another review. Tonight we're taking a look at the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Wolverine, number 5 in the series. Not this guy, I already have him out of the package, but I just wanted to show you the artwork inside the box, which I'm going to take out for you right now. Sorry guys, I don't know the artist who drew this piece of art here, but it is pretty cool, and we do have some more artwork down there on the side, on the left side and the right side here. Wolverine, dead center. Very cool. Looking at the box itself, we have the logos there on the top, on the side, Wolverine all posed up. The boxes for the Revoltech series, the Revoltech Marvel series, is usually pretty busy. They usually have like artwork from various artists all over the box, from the front, on the flaps, on the back, on the bottom, on the top, again on the side as well, and on the back here. And it's meant to look like, you know, it's part of a comic book, you know, the way that they have the panels and the speech bubbles. We have Wolverine and all of his accessories, his interchangeable faces, and yes, I mean, no, he doesn't come with the cigar that he was originally planned to come with, which is a bit of a downer, but you know, what are you going to do about it? And you have a brief description of Wolverine as well in Japanese, and yeah, that is the packaging. And here we have Wolverine in what I believe to be his astonishing X-Men costume. You can kind of tell by the stripe design running down the side of his body that carries over to the side of his legs. I think that was kind of the design element for that particular costume. But in my opinion, I think this Wolverine kind of borrows elements from other Wolverine designs. The proportions really remind me of the Marvel vs. Capcom proportions. Just those really bulky, really stylized limbs. The shoulder pads, I know that the Astonishing X-Men costume did have shoulder pads as well, but the shoulder pads and the boots really remind me of the 90s Jim Lee tiger stripe costume. But I think it's a good look for him. I really like this look. It's kind of like a modern take, and they do kind of borrow different elements, in my opinion, from you know, different Wolverines, which is pretty cool. Just looking at the sculpt work, you can see that this figure has a ton of detail. Looking at his arms, all those veins running right through. It carries over onto his back as well. You can see some more veins sculpted in there on the back of his neck. Just all of the musculature on his chest, on his abs, those thighs. He just looks so ripped. You can see all the seams and all the stretch lines on his costume, on his pants there, on the back of his butt. Just really well detailed, really well, excellently sculpted figure right there. Even on his face, you can see all the wrinkles there on his eyes, on his forehead. Just really well done. And obviously this version of Wolverine is going to be more stylized, so you're going to get, you know, exaggerated limbs, you know, muscles, expressions, you know, even the claws themselves are huge, and the way that they're flayed out like that, you know, I mean, I guess it's not too realistic, you know, having these huge claws coming out of his hand, which are probably, you know, double the size of his actual fist itself. But you know, this is how I imagine Wolverine. I grew up with the 90s cartoon, and yeah, this is, and I read the comic books as well. I collected the X-Men comic books as well, and this is what I had in my head when I thought, you know, of Wolverine. And going back to the paintwork, like the other figures in this series, Wolverine uses glossy paints with some metallics as well. You can see here his costume here is painted in yellow, a nice bright yellow. It's not that glossy, it's not too glossy like Spider-Man or Venom, but it is still quite shiny. They have gone with some shading. It is very subtle here on the knees, on the crotch, a little bit on the chest and underneath the neck there, on the back of his shoulders. There is some shading as well. The blues are metallic, They've used two kinds of blues, a lighter blue for his shoulder pads and the stripes, and a darker blue for his gloves and the middle sections of his boots, and for his mask. What I do like about this figure is that they have gone with matte paints and some shading there on his arms and on his face. For the most part, the paint is actually applied pretty well, but I did get some overspray on my copy anyway, on the sides of his waist there, and on his face right there underneath the mask, which I will try to clean up, but for the most part it is fairly clean. And now to the main course of the review, and I'm assuming that most of you already know what you're getting yourself into if you're watching a Revoltech review. Obviously this guy is not going to articulate the same way as this guy is, but you know, once you get the hang of it and once you know all the sweet spots of the figure, of all the Revoltech joints, you can definitely get this guy into a lot of dynamic poses. So for head articulation, Wolverine can actually look up really well, so when you got him crouched down like this, he can actually look forward, which is nice. He looks down quite well as well. He has side to side movement. His neck does give him some extra articulation there, not too much, but enough to get him looking up a little bit more and looking parallel really well. Looking at Wolverine's shoulders, he does have those shoulder joints that Venom had, just on a smaller scale, so he can get his arms to come in really close together like that, which looks really cool. Obviously you're going to get, you know, some gaps in between there, but for the most part, when you've got him kind of crouched down like that, having his arms together, his claws popping out, it's going to make for a really nice pose. Looking at his shoulders are on those double jointed Revoltech joints. So you do get a 360, but it is on an angle right there. He doesn't have a upper bicep swivel, doesn't have any cut there on his arm, but he does have a double jointed elbow here, as you can see, and it does swivel left to right as well. He has that standard wrist swivel and ball jointed hinge there in his wrist and his hand. He's got a upper and lower torso joint, and he gets a really huge crunch, almost 90 degrees, so you can get him crouched down really low. Not too much back actually. His back, the way it's sculpted there, does get in the way, so he doesn't get back too much. He does obviously have left and right movement at both upper and lower torso joints. His belt is a softer plastic, and it is a separate piece. Looking at his crotch area, he does have a swivel there for his waist, and he does have a thigh cut, so you can get some swivel at the thigh as well. His knees are the same as the Venom knees. It is a single joint, a single pivot there, but he does get a lot of reach all the way back right there. His feet, before I go into his feet, sorry, he does have a boot cut right there. And sorry, going back to the feet, it is a Revoltech joint going into the foot, so he can get his foot pretty far back, really far back, and pretty far forward. Obviously he has a toe joint there and some really nice ankle pivot right there. And onto Wolverine's accessories. He does come with 3 interchangeable faces, heads I should say. His stern looking face, which is quite nicely sculpted, very Wolverine-y. He also comes with his shouting face, which is a must for a Wolverine figure. very cool. And he comes with a disgruntled kind of, I don't know what to call that, kind of teeth gritting face. Also very nice, except it does have that overspray that I mentioned earlier in the video. He also comes with 3 sets of hands and 1 cigar holding hand, but he doesn't come with a cigar. And actually the original release was supposed to come with a cigar accessory as well, but they opted not to include that in because they thought this figure would be unsuitable for younger kids, which is a load of horse crap, because probably younger kids probably wouldn't go for this figure anyway, because it is a adult collectible. But what are you going to do? For his fisted hands here, they do have some plugs on the top that you can take off, which are a pain to take off when I first did it, because they were stuck in there pretty tightly. And you can plug in his claws, and I love his claws, just how awesome they look. So shiny, they're all straight. They're made from this kind of softer plastic, but it's not too soft that it's going to warp. It does have some flex to it, but really nicely sculpted. I just love these claws. So yes, you can pop off these plugs from his fist, and you can just pop on those claws like that. It does get a little bit troublesome, but definitely worth it to have some nice shiny claws. You can also put his claws onto his open palm hands as well, or his kind of like grabby hands. Just, I don't know, are those holes? That's not going to go in. Oh, there we go. Which is also really cool as well. And he also comes with 2 stuff holding hands. So you can take, if you have Revoltech Deadpool, you can grab his sword or gun, and Wolverine can hold a sword, which is pretty cool. He also comes with an effect piece, just like Deadpool. This piece here plugs in on the back. I'm just going to grab Wolverine here, but you can grab any figure from the Revoltech line. You can just pop it on the back here, and it kind of, I guess, simulates that kind of slash effect that you probably see in most of those, you know, Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Street Fighter games. That slash three claw slash effect. It's a nice addition. It's not, you know, anything spectacular, but you know, it is nice that they did include it. And obviously we do get the standard Revoltech stand with the claw and the other attachment as well. So just some quick size comparisons. Here we have Wolverine next to 2 of my favorite current Marvel Legends figures. As you can see here, both of these Wolverines have you know, some stylistic differences, obviously. You know, you can see that Wolverine here is still shorter than your normal Bucky cap mold. They're almost about the same height, the Marvel Legends and the Revoltech. The Revoltech having, I guess, as I mentioned before, more stylized proportions. You know, he's a lot more, I guess, stocky. I mean, this figure was pretty stocky itself, but this figure here definitely has a lot of mass to it as well. To his right, we have the SH Figure Arts Ryu, which I'm going to be probably posing both of these figures together on my shelf, along with my other SH Figure Arts Street Fighter figures, just to have a Marvel vs. Capcom display. Again, we've got his buddy Deadpool right there. Both of those figures look fantastic together. You get a lot of fun. You can kind of mix and match the pieces because they do share the same Revoltech joints. And yeah, lastly we have the Marvel Select Juggernaut there at the back. So I think if you guys haven't already guessed, I'm okay with the Revoltech. I like the Revoltech. I'm okay with the joints, the gaps that the Revoltech figures have. But just, you know, having a figure of Wolverine that can do all these amazing poses, just a must-have for Wolverine fans, I think. Even if you are not really a fan of, you know, the Revoltech line. I think in the series itself, Wolverine and Deadpool would have to be my two favorites. I do like the other figures, and Spider-Gwen is a close runner-up, but I think if I did have to choose one figure out of the whole line, I would definitely either choose Wolverine or Deadpool. Probably Wolverine. He's just a lot of fun to pose, and just a really fantastic, really dynamic figure overall. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give us a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hey, welcome to the channel. Thanks for dropping by, and please feel free to subscribe. As always, thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. Please enjoy the rest of your week, and I hope to see you for the next one. Take it easy, guys. Bye.